Let's go over exciting news for Star Wars Episode 9, the final film in the sequel trilogy. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, J.J. Abrams will be directing this film, and principal photography begins at the very end of July. Now, these past couple of weeks, we have been learning more and more about Episode 9, and I wanted to go over one big exciting update that has to do with this movie. Now, like with Solo: A Star Wars Story, and I really do respect Ron Howard for all of this, is that they introduced tons of Legends material into that movie. In fact, if you guys really know your EU stuff, you will notice tons of things that were implanted in the Han Solo film. Now, one thing that we do know about J.J. Abrams is that he will be implementing prequel trilogy continuity into Star Wars Episode 9. But not only prequel trilogy continuity, but also Legends material, much like what Ron Howard did with the Han Solo film. Now, what's the big and exciting news about this is that this could all have to do with either A, characters, planets, aspects of the Star Wars universe, ships, characters, and more. So I think that when we're looking at Episode 9 as a whole, I think it's going to be really great to see these mixture of things that will be combined in this movie, such as the prequel trilogy continuity and Legends material. Now, what kind of Legends material could we honestly expect to see in the sequel trilogy? Now, I would like one of the characters from the EU to return in Star Wars Episode 9. One big iconic EU character. I think Prince Xizor, is that how you pronounce his name? So a lot of people pronounce his name differently, but another aspect that I would really love to see transfer from the EU, also now known as Legends, into Star Wars Episode 9 are, of course, different types of lightsabers that we haven't seen on screen before. Now, that is something that I think a lot of fans would embrace and really enjoy to see something different once again. Now, like with Kylo Ren's lightsaber, that was completely unique. That wasn't actually from the EU. That was an original concept. But I think it would be a great and refreshing thing to have, you know, quite possibly a lightsaber from the EU, Legends, and implant that into Star Wars Episode 9. Again, the possibilities are endless when it comes to both J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, who wrote the script. J.J. will be directing the movie, and filming will begin in just a little over a month from now. So, looking at everything that's coming together here, it looks like Star Wars Episode 9 really may very well be a movie that's going to go out with a bang, right? We also know that from John Boyega that this movie is going to be an all-out war. And that is something that I think a lot of fans are going to love, because I think that this movie is going to end a lot of the war conflicts, or it may very well be the war to end all wars. I don't really see where we could go after Episode 9. That's another question open on the table for discussion. Will there be another war conflict after Episode 9? Could there be like another trilogy, like a 10, 11, and 12 of a next generation of characters that are still connected to this story, such as Rey, Finn, and Poe, where they could do something similar in that sense? But looking at everything of what's going on with the Star Wars franchise right now, there are tons of projects in the works. We have 2 upcoming trilogies by both Rian Johnson and the creators of Game of Thrones. So, you know, I think that what will be great is, you know, if we're looking at the creators of Game of Thrones, I think that one should be an Old Republic trilogy. And looking at Rian Johnson's, which honestly I feel like another director should go on board with him, or just another director should direct that trilogy, because I feel like there's a lot of trust issues with Rian Johnson and how, you know, a lot of the decisions that were made in Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Anyways though, guys, I gotta say, Episode 9, I'm still very much curious as to exactly how everything will end. In fact, will there be a lot of surprises that were set up in The Last Jedi that we just cannot see? And that's another question for sure. Now, looking at The Last Jedi, yes, I was disappointed with a lot of different aspects in the movie based on decisions by Rian and Kathleen Kennedy, and I'm just crossing my fingers that Episode 9 could very well be the best Star Wars movie in the sequel trilogy. Could Episode 9 be something similar in a sense of the prequel trilogy, where Episode 1 and 2 weren't really a match to that of Revenge of the Sith, right? I'm sure a majority of you guys will agree. If you look at the prequel trilogy, Revenge of the Sith, I believe, is the best film of that trilogy. Could we quite possibly see something similar in a sense with this trilogy where Episode 9 is the best film of all three movies? Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about that. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.